Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Freedom comes with eternal vigilance and personal responsibility. Now, personal responsibility comes from self-training, comes with, working on yourself, not that way, developing a certain kind of behavior through repetition. Children try to avoid, it's a mark of being an infantile. You avoid or deny personal responsibility. You always point the finger to others and you're never at fault. So I like freedom a lot, but I also like responsibility. That is, if you fuck up, you have to say, yes, I did. And then there are some consequences. Usually, if you fuck up, negative consequences should be. Correct, attached to the behavior. Bad behavior, negative consequences. Good behavior, rewards, positive rewards. That's how it works, or should work. Now, I will tell you that when I lived in the communist Romania, that was a very, very calm society. Very low crime. You could walk down the street at whatever. There were no riots. No people upset because past discrimination or anything like that. Nobody being very upset and smashing other people's things and so on. No, it was kind of calm. Yes, it was a dictatorship, but the society was safe. Maybe not that safe from the government, but when I came in the West, I realized that these guys actually controlled their population, their people, more than a communist ever dreamed to do it. Ever dreamed to do it. Not only because they have the technology, they were smarter. Anyway, I'm going to talk about that maybe later in this video. What do I have here? When we have a party, you've been to parties, I'm supposing, maybe in high school, then college, and maybe later. Now, the parties should become a little bit more sophisticated as you grow, because you become an adult, you become a responsible adult. Now, you can trash yourself, but next time you will not be invited to the party in that group, if that group is one that has some class. If it's a pig group, yeah, that's the norm, that's the way you're going to be. The problem is bad behavior, negative consequences. What happened here? People party, and people party during the New Year's night, hooby hooby tooby cooby. The problem is there's limits. The limits, you yell, maybe you go and have some public urination, pop, you drink too much beer, maybe you have some public sex in the back of a car or something, or maybe in a parking lot or in the bushes, whatever. These things happen. Now, are they major? I don't think so. But burning someone else's car versus having sex, consensual sex in the back seat of a car, it's of a different, at 3 o'clock a.m. I think that's a different story, isn't it? Now, we have our civilized societies in France and Germany who show us how to party, man, how to party. What do? Burn cars. I've never heard, never seen in Romania anything like that. And Romania is an uncivilized country, we're told. We're the third world. No, we can't be compared with France society, right? And with German society, but they act like animals. I wonder why. I'm going to tell you more stories if I get time. Let me read, get time, I give myself time, but I don't want to rob you of your time. Even though what I'm going to say is not like, something that would not be positive. Sputnik. French police detained 380 people on New Year's night as hundreds of cars burned. Is it a civilized society to you? Is it a it's only 300 people? Is it a civilized behavior and a civilized, elevated, civilized society in the Western Europe? Right? So some people had some party somewhere. I'm not saying that things like this don't happen, but still, I compare it with the communist Romania, which was bad country. The number of people arrested in France on New Year's night totaled 380, and 745 cars were set on fire. What is this? Pyromaniacs? What's going on here? I think that's a trend. I don't think that the 380 people just happened to coincidentally burn 745 cars, both of which is fewer than last year. Good job, French Interior Minister Gerard Darmanin said on Monday. Compared with last year, 10% fewer cars were set on fire. How about zéro, mon ami, Monsieur Dermanon? How about zéro? Or maybe 1, 2, 3, 700? Oh, last year there were not 700. There were 10% less. So what about 670? Compared with last year, 10% fewer cars were set on fire. Darmanin told reporters, specifying that the number of cars set on fire across France on the night between December 31st and January 1st this year was 745 cars. Almost 1,000 cars in one night. And France, civilized, yeah. Don't even dare to tell me that's not how civilization you have. No, I've never saw or heard of anything like this happening, let's say in Sweden, let's say, about 1950s, 60s, 70s. Never heard of that. Why do I hear it now? In Romania, never heard of it. Never heard. And I have people told me, what is this? Garbage. But we were the non-civilized and non-free. But these guys were the free ones. If that's freedom, well, you're freedom to be stupid. That's true. But on the other hand, it should be a different behavior, don't you think? I will tell another story. I'm just going to go from one story to another story. You know, garbage. In Romania, in the communist Romania, was dirty. People were throwing things and blah, 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 blah. I say, oh my God, look at these guys, uncivilized, you know. And then Romania after 1990, no more communism. Look at these guys, they're also uncivilized. They went to the West, clean. I said, look at these guys, man. These guys are civilized. I'm not talking about everywhere. In the main areas where I was lurking, you know, clean, beautiful. Look at this, they are civilized. I didn't realize that actually there were people hired to clean thoroughly. You know, like a bathroom. These guys' bathrooms are clean. Why? Because they have people cleaning them. In Romania, they had them, but they didn't do the job. They didn't have the products. It was garbage. Back. So I said, well, maybe these guys are not civilized after all. It's just that the jobs that some people are supposed to do and clean after this garbage, they do it. The same here. Maybe these guys are not more civilized than the obedient Romanians there, since they burned 745 cars in one night. And they got caught, some of them. Okay, so that's one. That's one. A total of 380 arrests were conducted, which is also 10% fewer than last year. I don't think so. How is that the arrest can be exactly 10% fewer than the cars burned? Is one on one? Do you think one guy burned one car, one guy burned one car? Is not two guys burned 5 cars? Or 5 guys burned one car? Garbage. I don't believe that one. I mean, it's too coincidental. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? So they work together. How is that possible? Not impossible, but very highly unlikely to have the same number of cars burned decrease exactly 10% as the people that were arrested, exactly 10%. That means we're the same guys that now were released and then burned the same number of cars. They have the same, we're going to burn like last year, man, 3 cars. And then 10 of them, 10% said, I don't think so. Or maybe they're still in jail. That's the first article about these civilized people. Let's go to the next one, if I find it. All right, this is a beautiful article right here. Russia Today, 1st of January 2024. Hundreds arrested in French and German New Year anarchy. Videos. I'm not going to play the very videos. You can go and watch them for yourself or open the window and look in your neighborhoods. Just kidding. Police in Berlin have detained nearly 400 people. In Berlin. Berlin. Not the whole, all right? And seized Molotov cocktails. Cock will be okay. Tails? I don't know. Police in France and Germany made hundreds of arrests over New Year's Eve as mobs torched vehicles and shot fireworks at officers. Nevertheless, authorities in both countries described the night as more peaceful than last year, and they celebrate that. Authorities in Berlin deployed 4,500 police officers to the streets of the German capital. They couldn't enjoy their celebration, their New Year's whatever. No, because they got their people to keep them in check. Authorities in Berlin deployed 4,500 police officers to the streets of the German capital, while 90,000, that's the number, 90,000 officers were deployed throughout France. It's an army, goddammit. Send them to Ukraine. Including 6,000 in Paris. 6,000 in, my God. Jungle, yeah. In Berlin, police broke up a group of around 500 people throwing fireworks at each other near Alexanderplatz. I have been at Alexanderplatz. That's where the television tower is located. Beautiful. I've been as a child and I've been as an adult as well. Beautiful. Before remnants of the group began shooting pyrotechnics back at the officers. Several people were arrested for making Molotov cocktails in Neukölln district. Neukölln district, police said. Video footage showed large groups of men described in media as being from, you can't say that whatsoever, shooting fireworks at buildings and passing traffic. What is this? Romanians too? They don't do it at home, but they do it there? Or maybe some others. I'm not going to play this video, but you can do if you want over there. All blonde and blue-eyed over there, as you can tell. My God, you fucked yourselves real bad. And then another one, I'm not going to play it, obviously. Now, these are hooligans. These are just Germans. Deutsche Volk. By Monday morning, police had arrested around 390 people. 54 officers were injured. Deutsche Welle reported 30 of them by fireworks. Berlin's fire department described the night as a normal New Year's Eve. Can you hear that? It became normal. And you're telling me that this is civilized? Have they been on the Unter den Linden as well? The main in Berlin? While State Senator for the Interior Iris Prangl said that had been comparatively few police injuries thanks to the large-scale deployment of officers. Why do you think like that? Why these guys are allowed to think like that? Oh, there were fewer, yeah. There will be none. There will be what? A few, very few. 5, 10, 15. Similar scenes played out in Paris on Champs-Élysées and other French cities this year, where nearly 750 vehicles were set on fire, according to Interior Minister Darmanin. Police across France arrested 381 people, with 40 officers suffering minor injuries. Those officers have families, you know. They have children, wives, brothers, mothers. They were injured by these animals. Who behaves like that? A free person? Yeah, okay. Good person or bad person? Major festivities took place peacefully, particularly in Paris. Mostly peaceful protests in Minnesota. Darmanin wrote on social media, adding, "It's calmer than last year." I wonder if a few of Darmanin's relatives would have been hurt. Would have said the same thing? It's calmer than last year. It's A-okay. Très bon. Très bon. Security have been ratcheted up across Europe in a run-up to the Christmas and New Year period, following a spate of Islamist attacks in France and terrorist threats against Christian churches and Jewish sites in Germany. Yeah, and your society goes to garbage. And this is garbage. This is the civilized world. Have you heard of anything like this in Russia? If not, why not? Oh, Putin is bad? Well, I'd rather have Putin bad but have no animals doing something like this than having animals like this and having the Interior Minister saying, oh, that's 10% fewer. It's not 1,000, it's just 800 or 900 this year. A medal, all les enfants, let's go to, what, 1812, let's attack Moscow again. Garbage, my friends, but here it is. I don't know, maybe you like that. Maybe you like that. I would like to be on the other side, but with an order to to clear the streets. I would do it in the name of democracy, freedom, justice, civilization. But that's not civilization. Well, you arrested them. I will put them over there like 5 years in jail, and I will make them in jail not just over there jerk off, take showers and watch TV and build muscles. They would be working to pay for the expenses of others for them being over there. I wrote a book on that. Regarding what I would do with these beautiful people that commit crime, It doesn't mean that you go in jail and just stay over there and do your thing. No, 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 no. No, you pay. You pay. How do you pay? You work. You don't work? We have methods. Check my book out. I think it's the perfect society or better society we should create or something like this. 1,000 years ago, I wrote it. It's published on Amazon. Go and look at it. It's short and concise. How I think certain things in a society, in the Western society, should be solved. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.